Going in. Let me get my hat on. We got 7 people already waiting on this show to begin.
Man.
So what's up, man?
Good stuff.
We here.
So look, we are here live with Mr. Phase One, Mike Waters.
Yep.
First, just a pleasure, and an honor, and I feel blessed being in this position. It's always you giving the interviews and reaching out to so many people. So I came up with an idea. We're going to let some of these people that are connected to you get an opportunity to know a little more about you and some of the stuff you do, some of the winner mindset information, the thought, the ideal, the vision behind Phase One Sports and behind the foundation.
Yep.
So that's what this is about. Many of you out there know Mike Waters. He's in his description. I've known him since he was a kid. Went to school with his brother, his father, my father were good friends, and I had the pleasure of coaching him in high school. Bring it all the way around back to 2020. Reconnected with him, the president of his foundation. Just moving forward, he got some big things. So I want to dive right into it, Mike, and just give us a little bit about your sports journey as a child, how you felt about that, and what really inspired you and motivated you.
Yeah. For me, it was, in the beginning, it was just what everybody did. Everybody in the neighborhood, played football. We grew up in the same city, so everybody played football. If you was a baller, you was a baller. You know what I mean? My older brother, Alfred, who, was a running back as well. So, of course, watching him and wanting to follow those footsteps, I remember carrying his helmet on Friday nights after the game. You know what I mean? So just that kind of energy, I fell in love with football pretty early, and reality is that's really what carried me through all the years is really the love and the passion for sports. And ultimately it's still part of what we do today.
Good stuff. Okay, and now you played at high school level, you played, junior All-American, then you went on to play junior college, and then UNLV. Mm-hmm. Okay. So after your career with UNLV, you had a vision. Okay, let's talk about that. What inspired that vision? Some of the things you struggled with as a high school athlete, and when getting to college, getting out of college, and this vision.
Yeah,
elaborate on that a little.
Yeah, at the end of the day, my role was pretty typical, which is sad. You know what I mean? It was typical in the fact that done well. Led the area in rushing, scoring touchdowns Friday night, doing all that stuff for basically 4 years in high school. Then when it became time for a scholarship to go play college ball, I had to learn the hard way about SAT, about core classes, about, just being eligible for a scholarship, NCAA clearinghouse. This is stuff that nobody ever talked about. You know what I mean? Like, my coach never sat me down and was like, here's your NCAA worksheet, and you need this math class, you need that. I had no clue. All I knew was if you had a 2.0, you was going to play Friday night.
Right. Yeah.
So I always had a 2.0. I had a 2.2. I looked at it like I had a little cushion. I was going to make sure I'm playing Friday night, but it was really that experience and learning the hard way. And then the second part of that was after my senior year at Morovia, I actually sat out that year, after that year. I didn't go straight to JUCO. I literally chilled, man. I was like just doing nothing, honestly. You know what I mean? I was just trying to hustle, trying to make some money. I think, it is what it is. I was trying to set a little bit of something, just enough to get some shoes. Right. Just wasting it. Just wasting it. And luckily, a year or so in, right about a year later, I just started missing football. Straight up. I did not like school, hated everything about it, but I missed football. And so I hit one of my coaches and I said, hey, I really want to play again. And at the end of the day, the coach is like, well, you got to go to junior college. So I'm like, all right, cool. I didn't even know what school. I literally went online and looked up the best junior college in the area. And at that time, which it still is one of the best, was Mount Sac. And that's why I went to Mount Sac. And when I went, I didn't call the coaches. I didn't have my coach call up there and tell him, hey, this is my running back from class of 96, and he did this and he did that. Nothing. I applied to the school, got into the school, and showed up at practice on day one, not knowing anybody. And it was the third on day three. On day three, the head coach was like, come see me in my office. And that was the first time he sat down and was like, who are you? Where are you from? And I'm like, Monrovia High School. He was like, I remember you. But he was just, being a coach. And at the end of the day, man, that was really the start of it.
Awesome. Okay. So coming out of UNLV, okay, you didn't choose the pro route for whatever reason. The other side of this vision, which nowadays is so important, so key, because that's an investment in our future.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you took an interest in that youth, which is another side of that vision that you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that and tie that in with the foundation that you also created that basically gives back and helps kids that had this situation or issue like you have.
Yeah. So going back to the first thing you said, I chose to not go to the NFL. I did not choose to not go to the NFL. Let me be clear. That nobody out there thinks that I am that ignorant. No. To be honest, my college career at UNLV, I just didn't do enough. I didn't do enough to get NFL scouts to pay attention. So I didn't have any kind of draft grade. It just wasn't enough work. It wasn't enough productivity to get to the NFL. So I was okay with that. I was one of those athletes that when I got done at UNLV, when I hung my helmet up that last time, I knew it was the last time that I would wear a helmet. I knew it. I knew it right then. I knew that I had a different mission. I knew that it was something that I needed to go attack and figure out and learn. I knew that. You know what I mean? So I didn't really have that like hard feeling of I didn't make it. You know what I mean? Or I wasn't 30 years old still trying to try out for different teams, and it just wasn't me. I was like, I'm good. I gave 100% to the game. I gave 100% of what I had to football. So when it was over, it was over. It was done. So what happened was, it was my junior going into senior year at UNLV, and I would always go home. I would always go back to Monrovia, whether it was just a long weekend, a bye week for football, Christmas, whatever. I would always go home. So every time I would go home, I would notice that most of the people that I grew up with were standing in the same spot doing the same things. Now, not all. Some were doing okay, but a lot were doing the exact same thing we did in high school. Some of them by then were all in, selling dope. Some by then was gangbanging. Some by then was already, multiple kids and dealing with that. I mean, it was just a lot going on. And the one that hit the closest to home was my best friend growing up, which is Mike Bailey. I'm sure there's people on here that know my boy MB. Me and Mikey were super tight. So at the end of the day, what really gave me a different perspective is right around the same time I was moving to Las Vegas to play football, Mikey had went to jail. And during that time, I mean, I don't know, 14, 16-year sentence. I mean, something just crazy. And I just remember thinking, like, me and him used to do everything together. Right. He's a good dude. I'm a good dude. But he went down this path, and I just wanted to play football. I didn't choose necessarily the better path. I just simply wanted to play football. Right. So I had to go to junior college. I had to go to class. I had to get my AA degree. I had to do that. And so I did it. And so I think it was those parallels that when I would go home and I would see that, Then I would come back to Vegas, and then I would new friends that I met here. Dad's a doctor, dad's a lawyer.
Right.
They got multiple investment properties, and my dad has a boat. We're going out to the lake, and I'm like, damn, I've never even seen half of it. Your dad has a cabin, and we're gonna go stay in the cabin for a week. Most people I know sharing a room with their 3 brothers.
Right, exactly.
And you got a whole nother house that your family goes to for a couple of weeks out of the year. And it just really just made me realize like how many young athletes, especially young inner city, young African-American, young Black, however you want to word it, how many of us don't get to see anything different. And so I knew right then that my journey was going to have something to do with helping young dudes, helping young athletes, helping young people just before they really understand what I'm doing, I've already accomplished it.
Right.
So I knew that football was the tool that got me that far, but it wasn't because of the NFL.
Right.
It got me that far, but by then I was mature enough to see everything else. I was mature enough to understand I had my own apartment. I had my job. I knew how to, I grew up.
Yeah.
And so really that's what became the answer, man, to phase 1. That's what it was. Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to transition into phase 1. And I want to, there was something you just said about how you didn't really, go to the NFL because you didn't work hard or enough work wasn't done. So listening to that statement and then phase 1, tie those together because, I'm actually part of phase 1 now and I see the work. So tie that together, the working out hard, you're not having that and knowing how key that is to get to the next level. Tie phase 1.
So let me back up one. So let me clean it up a little bit. So, and it's still going to tie into phase 1. So rewind. I put in enough work, but I didn't have enough production, meaning I didn't have no stats on the field. I didn't rush for 1,500 yards. I didn't have 20 touchdowns. But this is so important. So I worked my ass off throughout all my college years. I was the one that stayed after practice running sprints. I sat in John Robinson's office to say, Coach, what else can I do? Talk to me. I'm already doing this. What else? I literally got my apartment across the street from UNLV practice field, and literally it would be midnight. I would go jump the gate to go run over my plays in my head on that field, right? Like literally, like by myself. Like my girlfriend at the time was like, "You crazy?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be right back." Literally. So I put in the work. But now here's the key to that, though. Here's the key. Since I put in that level of work, I never had any regret when the NFL opportunity didn't come, because I did everything that I could do and it didn't work. So here's the phase 1 connection. This is why I'm so hard on my athletes, and this is why I expect so much, is because if you give 100%, no matter what the outcome is, you'll be able to live with it.
Yes.
That's the exact reason why I hung my helmet up and I was okay. But I know other people that were smoking, drinking, partying, doing all that, and then they didn't have the productivity either, but they could never let it go. So now they want to try out semi-pro team, Arena 2 team, NAIA. They just all over the board. I still get people now 30, 32 years old. Hey man, it's a tryout coming next month. I need to be ready. I'm like, ready for what? It's over. It's over. There's nothing to be ready for. So, and I tell people, that's why one of my favorite quotes is, you're going to live with one or two things. You're going to live with the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Period. I lived with discipline. Period. So that was the difference, man. And that's why I push these athletes so hard in here, is because I know what it feels like to give everything and win, and give everything and lose. And they both come with their level of rewards. But I also know what it's like to not give 100%, fail, And then always ask yourself, man, I wonder what if.
Right.
I don't want to be a what if athlete. I don't want nobody around me to be a what if type person. What if I start that? What if I would have started that business? We'll never know. Do it. Go all in. If it fails, you can wake up and be like, hey, it didn't work. That's how I look at it. Straight up.
Okay, so now we got a little background about Mike as an athlete. Let's talk about Mike as a business owner. Okay, I've been up here for 5 years, got connected with you, kind of got into the business, dealing with some things on you. One thing I want to kind of dial in on the drop that you have. As a business owner, what could you tell people even as a business owner? Because even listening to you, the mindset, like you said, you jumped the gate, did it all. Your mindset was, I'm going to give everything. And like you said, it comes with, you still have a reward knowing, hey, you know what? I gave everything. So as a business owner, how do you keep that mindset of, I'm going to give everything when you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel?
Yeah, and that's honestly the hardest thing to do. It's hard for everyone. It's hard for me at times. But I look at it like this. I look at everything as pros and cons. What's the benefits? What's the positives if I do ABC? What's the cons? The sad part is there's a lot of people that'll look at the pros, look at the cons, and then say, well, why would I put in that much work if I don't know if it's going to be successful?
Right.
It's the half empty, the glass half empty mindset. I know people that literally have great business ideas, but they never started because they feel like, man, what if I invest the next 3 years in my money and my time and it doesn't work? I look at it like this. When I'm 90 years old, I don't want to lay there and ask myself, I wonder if I would have tried ABC, how my life could have been different. I'd rather try it now. And I understand, even at almost 42 years old, and God forbid that this never happens, but at 42, if I lost everything I have right now, I have confidence that I'll be able to dust myself off, and in 5 years we'll be right back on this live talking about what we built new. I have that confidence, but it's something that you have to develop over time. You have to invest enough energy to get results, and then invest more, and then get more, and then invest more and get more. It's the same reason why when I have an 8-year-old on the turf, and the dad says, "Oh man, he had a great game this weekend," I don't go celebrate the game. I grab the athlete and I make sure he understands that he had a great game because of the work. Because everybody else wants to celebrate the great game. Great game last week. High five. No, how did you have a great game? Everybody wants to celebrate phase one. Oh, we got 3 locations. The 17 years and the hours and hours and hours and hours of times where I didn't think it was going to work at all. That's what I celebrate. I told someone the other day, I said, one of the coolest feelings of owning a business is every now and then you can actually say it. I even say it at least twice a year. I'll be like, I'm gonna quit.
Yeah,
I quit.
I know.
I quit. I'm done. I quit. I'm out. I quit. And in about 3 hours, I'm back to work, back on my laptop, more ideas, more creative. So it's just something fun about knowing that it's a challenge. It's going to be a challenge. Nothing was handed. Nothing was given. I wish my dad was a multimillionaire and I could have asked him for $3 million and opened up phase one and then got another $3 million and had them all over the country by now. Most people look at it 17 years in, I should have 20 of these. That's one way to look at it. But I look at it as I started from a place to where I didn't even know what a business plan was. Not that I have a business plan, I didn't know what it was. So I gotta look at it and say, oh, I came a long way. I came a long way.
Good. Okay. In what you just said, you said that, excuse me, it is something that has to be developed. That mindset. I want to touch on that because we'll share something with you guys out here. Came in here the other morning. Mike is out here doing this warrior workout. Okay?
Warriors.
This dude is almost 42 years old. And first of all, what they were doing, just watching it made me want to go like check myself into the emergency with all the pandemic going on. I just needed to get checked because I felt like I was going to. But the level of competitiveness that he and this other trainer were out here working, it was just mind-blowing to see somebody out there outworking some of these young people, outworking. So when you say it has to be developed, how do you nurture something like that and still be able to dig deep at 42 and push your body past, where it says, I want to quit, but your mind says you're not quitting?
Yeah. I think the starting point is this for me. The starting point is any athlete show that you have to prepare for a game, right? I got to prepare for a game. If you look at the Last Dance with MJ, it was the preparation and the practice and the intensity in that practice what led to the 6 championships, right? So in anything that you do, you have to prepare. So here's the catch. You don't know what you're preparing for when you're in business. I don't know what I'm preparing for. I didn't know that COVID-19 was coming and going to shut us down for 3 months. Did I know that? Nobody knew that. No one knew. So here's how I look at training at this stage. And I would love any business owners out there, any adults out there that got different goals, stuff you're trying to come. If you can adopt this mindset, here's how I look at training. The reason I push myself to the limit when I train, I literally push myself to the limit. Literally. I'm willing to die out there finishing a warrior workout. The reason is because if I can put myself through that type of pain, if I can push myself to that limit, what outside is going to be able to affect me? If I almost die every week in a warrior workout and I get news like COVID, you got to shut down for 3 months. If I'm not mentally tough and I'm not prepared, I'm a crash and burn. I feel like that's why a lot of businesses didn't open back up. Because whoever the leader is went into full panic and shut down and couldn't see the path or couldn't see anything that they can do to help it. Why? Because you're not prepared. So when I'm training, when I'm pushing my body to the max, when I'm in here grinding the way I grind, lifting weights at 42, jumping on boxes, doing all this stuff, I am simply preparing not just my body, because the body is really just the result of the work. Like when you got muscles and veins, that's the result of what you're doing. I didn't do it for the veins. I didn't do it for the muscle. I did it so that way when I have a terrible day in business, I can be ready. Mentally. What's going to hurt me? I'm going to kill myself in here. So anything when I walk outside, what is anybody going to do that's going to make me go, oh, wait, this could be painful. Oh, wait, I'm short on payroll. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to figure it out. Same way I'm not going to quit in here. So that's what I mean by developing. But I would love it if people would adopt the mentality of you have to prepare yourself for what's coming. It's just like in anything else, in a relationship and anything. The previous relationships helped you prepare for the one that you in. So if you didn't go through those ups, downs, lefts, rights, good, bad, I just choose to do it in the fitness world, which gives me health benefits, keeps me young, keeps me feeling good, keeps me looking good. But in reality, I'm doing it so I can build phase 1 to the next level and defeat anything that comes up.
Good stuff. Okay, we're getting close here. We got about 6-7 more minutes. Talk to us about the vision of the phase 1. Yeah, let's talk about that. I want to hear. I want you to just let it flow. Just tell our viewers, our listeners, the next level of Phase One. You spent 17 years building this part of it, getting athletes to pros and doing all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Now taking it to that level that's going to create your legacy. That's what I want to hit.
Oh, that's big. So the academy for me, and those that aren't familiar with the academy life, academy structure. So next month we are launching the Phase One Sports Academy. So basically our student athletes grades 6 through 12 are actually going to be on our campuses. So here at South location as well as Northwest, and we're actually building it into Hawaii location as well. Students will be here 6 hours a day. 3 of those hours focusing on academics, focusing on life skills. I mean, we have a sports psychologist on staff that'll be coming in working on this. Teachers assistants. Jonathan is one of our directors. I mean, it's a full-fledged academy that will focus 3 hours on academics and life skills. Break, and then we'll go 2 hours into training, athlete development, nutrition, recovery, pretty much everything. So here's why I'm so excited about the academy. Phase One has done a great job in the last 17 years of developing athletes, and we're over 500 athletes have gotten scholarships as a part of the program. Now we're over 100 athletes that are at the professional level. So we've accomplished a lot. Our Phase One Foundation, which I love, has done a great job in the community here in Las Vegas. With all the different community centers, Stupak, Doolittle, Pearson, all the community centers, and we're still growing. This academy is really the last piece to this big puzzle of complete athlete development. I want to not only mold athletes on the field, I want to assure that they're getting a quality education in the classroom. And then I want to assure that they're actually getting the life skills to be successful. Because if you remember what I said 40 minutes ago, they don't know this, but it never was about sports. I don't care about the NFL, NBA, or any of that. If you make it, great. All that means is I'm going to ask you for a donation. That's all that really means. That's the only thing that means. If you make it, you are obligated to write a check back to the Phase One Foundation. It means nothing more. Here's what it is. The 99% of the student athletes that will not make it through our program, they're going to learn discipline, number one. One of the biggest deficits in young athletes to me, and the reason why so many struggle academically, is because they don't know how to sit down and focus. They don't know how to just sit down for 2 hours and just focus on one thing. Whether it's the phone, the social media, practice, the parents, the noise, they just don't know how to just sit down. My nephew went from, 1 point something GPA up to a 3.2 or 3.3 simply because I didn't tutor him. I just made him sit down and focus. Just sit down. During this time, you're going to sit down and you're going to focus on your books, period. And the GPA came up. So I think by us doing that, by us, of course, the training, we already mastered the training. We got the training. Between Reggie Hobson, all y'all watching, y'all already know who Reg is, the wicked genius, 56. Check him out if you don't know who he is. They're already there. And then the life skills, teaching them. Like one of the biggest things is community. In our academy, we're in the community every month. We picking up trash on the side of the freeway. Then why we got to do this? Why not?
Why not? Why not? That's the question.
My question to my athletes in the academy is going to be this. What sport do you play? Basketball. Are you good? Yes. How many points you average? 23. Perfect. What else? What do you mean what else? What else? What kind of person are you? Who are you? Do you help your mom at home? Do you help your little sister, your little brother? Are you going back to middle school? Are you talking to what are you doing? What else? And if we can get them to answer that question, we win. We win. And so I've never felt like this about anything, but I feel like the academy will be my legacy. I feel like that's what will happen 20 years from now, 30 years from now. People that have no clue who I am or that this building that we're in today even existed will be saying, man, that academy. That's where we at.
Good.
That's where we at.
Good. Okay, so we're about to wrap this up. So Mike, I want you to take the next few minutes here as we get ready to end this and leave something with all the viewers, something that they can take and actually apply to their life that's going to make them better and help them with that mindset of not being defeated.
Love it, love it. So, and here's what I love about, being a former athlete, still a corporate athlete, but being a former athlete and then also being a business owner. Here's what I love about it. They're so parallel. The mindset of an athlete and the mindset of a business owner or entrepreneur is very similar. You don't know the outcome. You don't know the results. There are no guarantees. It's just the nature of being an athlete. It's the nature of being an entrepreneur. As excited as I am about being open, next week, the governor can make an announcement and we back closed. Now what? Got to figure it out. So if we know that's the world that we choose, athletes, entrepreneurs, if we know that's the world that we choose, why would we not do everything to prepare to win in that world? You chose it. You chose to play football, but now you don't want to go work out.
Wow.
You chose to start your business, but now you feel like, man, it's just not enough time in the day because you still want to watch Netflix. You chose it. Why would you choose it and then not do what you need to do? The last part I'll leave you with, athletes, entrepreneurs. I said it a couple minutes ago. You're going to live with one of two things. I guarantee you. The pain of discipline, and trust me, that pain is real. That pain is real when it comes to nutrition, training, studying. If you're a business owner, when it comes to doing that paperwork, that accounting work, that bookkeeping, those late hours, those long meetings, that no sleep because you got ABC that you got to get done, that's the pain of discipline. Or you're going to live with the pain of regret, which means, you know what, I ain't doing all that. And then when your business fails, or when you're on the sideline and you're mad at the coach because you're not starting, and when I ask you why you're not starting, you tell me the coach don't like you. Then that is from the pain of regret. So if you look at it simply, it's a bank account. The more you deposit, the more you put in, the more you what? The more you get out. I got Wells Fargo. If I don't put no money in there, and I walk in there tomorrow morning, and I'm like, I need to get out. Just let me get $5,000 out. And I'm like, sir, you have an account here, but it's empty. I'm like, but I have an account, and I need $5,000. I need that.
Right.
If I'm an athlete, it's Friday night. I need to start. I need the ball. But you didn't make any deposits during the week.
Yep.
At practice, you was half-assing it.
Yep.
The coach had to yell at you 3 or 4 times during your workout. You don't have no deposits. You can't get nothing out. You can't get no withdrawal out. In business, my business is not working. I'm not making enough money. How much time? How much effort? What are you putting in? Are you marketing? Are you talking to people? Are you sending those messages? Are you at the networking event? What are you doing? Oh, well, I haven't really been doing that. How are you going to get anything out? Simple as that. And that's how I really look at it. That's why on a day that I feel like, you know what, when I'm burnt out, I'm tired, boom, I go home, I'll chill for a minute. But within an hour or two, I'm back on that laptop. I don't care if it's just working on the website. I don't care if it's posted on social media, whatever it is, because I know I need to just keep doing what? Making deposits. I have to. And then the best part about it is the more you do it, the bigger that return gets. And now you start connecting dots, just like I do with young athletes. Man, we've been doing all this work. We put together the effort with the youth football program.
Yeah.
Took hours putting it together, putting the details together, laying it all out. What's the right price point? What's the time? meetings. We put in the effort. We deposited. We launched it, 20 kids, bam, ready to go. Withdrawal. That's the way it all works. It all works just like that. And we have to have that mentality. So that's what I would want to leave everybody with. When you don't feel like doing it, just think to yourself, that's your keys. Discipline or regret, deposits and withdrawals. That's all you got. You take them 4 right there and run with it, man, you're gonna be all right. If you're an athlete, you trying to get a scholarship, use those. Either discipline or regret. Which one you gonna have? You making deposits? That's the only way you get money out. If you ain't putting nothing in, ain't nothing out. Especially all you young athletes, all the money talk and all this money, bread, get the bag, bag alert, all this stuff y'all be talking about. How much deposits are you putting in? Because that's the only way to get the bag. Ain't nobody giving you the bag. You gotta earn the bag. Yeah, it's the reality. It is what it is.
Woo, there you go, right there. Mike Waters from Phase One Sports. Mike, thank you so much for that knowledge. Hey, listen, you guys. Mike is going to give you an email address, some way to contact him. If y'all got any additional questions, I'm telling you, this guy, he doesn't mind helping people. Give him a way to contact you, email you. Just get in touch with you.
No, Matt, just hit me on social media. I mean, hopefully y'all follow me on IG, Mike Waters P1. I'm on IG a lot. What else? YouTube, our YouTube channel /Phase One Sports, Facebook /Phase One Sports. I mean, just reach out, man. I'm an open book. I love talking business. And I love working with young athletes. Before we get out, man, I want to thank this guy, man. He's played a huge role in my years of development. I said it in the caption. He was my freshman football coach, literally. And even before that, he was a close friend of my older brother. So he's basically a brother to me for, I don't know, 30 years now, something crazy. You know, so what he's doing and how he has transitioned, he don't want to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it. He's already lost, how much?
60.
He's already, I always want to say 30. He's lost 60 pounds. 60 pounds since the start of quarantine. And you know how? The same stuff we just talked about. It was days he didn't want to come in here and do that cardio, but he did it. Same thing. So now what he's doing as the president of the foundation and now being the director with the Phase One Academy, man, I'm telling you, pay attention. We about to go somewhere. We have to go somewhere big. And we're taking a lot of people with us. Stay down in, man. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate
Love y'all. See you on the next one, man.
Next
Thanks
time.
for tuning in.
All right.
Appreciate you.